to get it, man. Get your tail, it's a different lane. When you playing for the winning team, RP to Mr. Wayne's. Bang, bang, we gon' win the game. Court crank, hit you with your pain.
I be spitting real, be spitting backwash, yeah. So I'ma have to ask you all to back off. Hitters in my DMs try to hit me with the caps lock. Cause I'm always beasting on the camera like the Sasquatch. Wait until I blow, y'all gon' see me blast off, yeah. And y'all gon' see in front like they ain't act hard.
Hey guys, so today we're going to be working on decontaminating the paint, cleaning up the garage. I thought I would do a garage tour. On my Canons, I'm using a 1.25 orifice. So Trix definitely needs a little bit more scrubbing than some of the other ones did. People recently ask, what is your lineup? What would your current favorites be? On this episode, I bought a car, but I got stickers to remove. I got a botched PPF job that I get to remove. I got haziness in the headlights to clean up. Walking over to SEMA, this will be my only day.
Wait, time out. I got beef with you on this, but let's walk through what you hate about pen and wine. All right, let's go.
All right, I don't hate pen.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, was having technical difficulties. It's Monday. It's Monday. Thank you guys all for being here. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. I'm so excited for everybody to get to talk to the guest that I have on tonight. Definitely not the most boring channel on YouTube. I actually quite like his content, and I know you guys do too. So let's go ahead and bring him on in. We have Mr. Jeff Franklin from Improve Garage. Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So I'm going to go ahead and let the chat know. It definitely is a Monday, and I literally started my spiel without pulling myself in. Yeah. I've had that kind of day today. I don't know if anybody else can relate, but
Well, and to answer the questions in the chat, no, I don't hate pan. Eddie
No.
did that when he was standing right next to me.
Chingy says, is Jeff related to Kirk Franklin?
No, I don't think so.
I don't even know who that is. Do we know Kirk Franklin? I have no idea. Again, thank you guys.
There's a producer on Full House. So growing up, as a kid, I watched Full House, and there's a producer on Full House, Jeff Franklin. And I always found that hilarious that I had the same name for some reason. But
Full House, man, that used to be one of my favorite TGIF shows. Didn't that come on Fridays? I don't know. Again, thank you guys for being here. Let's go ahead and let's get the party started. Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not bad. It's been a busy day. Mondays always are. How was your day?
Yeah, Mondays are usually busy. I work in IT, so we always have like all the crap that happened over the weekend to kind of deal with Monday morning. And yeah, I guess I just inadvertently answered John's question.
Yep, I saw that.
But yeah, so yeah, a couple meetings and different stuff like that. I'm supposed to be done at 4, but usually I'm not. Today I was done 5:30, something like that.
Nice. It's funny. I don't know what it is. Is it just me? But I feel like over half of the industry is also in IT. Like, what is up with that?
Yeah.
Eddie's in IT. Jeff's in IT.
Yeah. I was actually
Umberto.
I was actually thinking that too recently. I don't know what it is. Like, I guess a lot of us are process driven and maybe improving things and like figuring stuff out and the challenges around. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we do like detail work, like cable management and stuff. So maybe that's why, but
I was also thinking yes, Keith Firebird or an engineer. I was also thinking maybe it's because they're kind of stressful jobs. Would you say
Mhm.
being in IT is stressful?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, detailing, I guess, then, right, takes all that stress away, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
it's like if you follow the process. So IT, oftentimes when you're troubleshooting things, is very well, you tried the things that you should have done, and then none of them worked, and now you're like stuck, right? That
Yeah.
happens quite often.
Yeah.
So I think that what's nice about detailing is that if you follow the process from the beginning to the end, you will end up with the result, right? You might have
Yeah.
some hiccups along the way, but in general, like it's what we're doing isn't rocket science. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well, I totally agree. So, Jeff, you have a YouTube channel called
mhm,
Improved Garage. Great
mhm.
channel. But before we get into your channel, I am just interested to know a little more about who Jeff Franklin is. Where do you come from? How did you, even get into the whole detailing thing? Give us a rundown. Let us know who
Yeah,
you are.
yeah. So I mean, I think all humans are kind of the sum of their experiences. So, I was born in Pennsylvania. I lived there until I was 26. Early on, I kind of decided I wanted to be an electrical engineer. I was always into electronics and electrical systems. Like my mom has pictures of me as a 6-year-old with like a bag of extension cords and stuff, carrying it around the house. My dad worked at a car dealership when I was growing up. So he always had, like, every year he would have a new car, always Toyota trucks. He had like Forerunners and Tacomas. And my mom had a Forerunner and a bunch of Hondas in there. And he managed the parts department for a time, then the polish department. So there was always like car cleaning supplies and stuff like that at our house. And he always took care of his own vehicles. And um, my grandparents owned a restaurant. My mom worked there. Later on, when I was like 14, my parents opened their own restaurant on their own. My dad left the dealership, and my mom left. Um, well, she actually had gone to a phone company for a short time there, but and I saved up for my first car. I had a 92 Prelude, and that had more money in the sound system than the car was worth. But I spent a lot of time, cleaning that and working on it all the time with the supplies that my dad had around the house. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I had no idea what a paint correction was. I'd put a hand wax on it or something along those lines. But I cared about it because I bought it with my own money at $5 an hour. Um, and then I did go to college for electrical engineering. In my junior year, I kind of decided that it wasn't for me, and I decided not to complete that. I had gotten a job working at like a car electronics installation place. It was called Sound Solutions. We did like stereos and navigation and overhead DVD and a lot of remote car starters because Pennsylvania, the weather, a lot of people want the starters for winter. But I was making like really good money and doing something that I really enjoyed. And I knew people that had graduated from engineering and weren't making great money. And I don't know, I want to do stuff with my hands rather than like just be the person who was designing things, if that made sense. So I ended up leaving college in my junior year, and the electronics place eventually, the owner decided to sell it because his lease was up and some other things. So I ended up getting a job at a machine shop. So I was working there for a little while, making rings for jet engines for Pratt Whitney and GE and a couple other airlines. And they had like some supply chain issues, and it was a union shop. So they ended up laying off like the bottom 2 people in terms of seniority. And I was one of the newest hires. So I got let go from that. Ended up, and like the whole time I'm like still working at the restaurant because when your family owns a restaurant, it's impossible to quit. So like I would take a sick day from my actual job or a vacation day from my actual job to like cover some catering events that my parents' restaurant had and stuff like that. Like that was kind of always my life for, well, a long time. And then I ended up getting a job working for a railroad contractor called Balfour Beatty, and we did crossings. We built railroad crossings, and I was an electrician on a signal crew. So we had like a 4-person crew, and we would fly on a Tuesday to like the middle of nowhere, and we would build a crossing from start to finish in 8 days. And then we would fly home, and we'd have 4 days off, and then we would go back out and just do it again. So I traveled all over the country. I've been in 37 states.
Wow.
Most of them kind of like not great places. Like I don't want to say not great places, but like I wasn't at Disneyland, you know, I was like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I ended up meeting a girl, and she lived in California, had kids, and had been here her whole life. And I had this opportunity because I worked for the railroad. I always flew home at the end of the session. Well, they didn't really care where they flew me as long as the flights were like reasonably similar. So I had them start flying me to California in between sessions, and I kept coming up here and visiting her. And then, you know, so we met in like February. By September, I moved here. I just went home one time, drove across the country, and then flew back to work from California. So that was in 2015, or well, I guess it was late 2014. In 2015, I started my job working for the IT company that I still work for today. So I just hit my 10-year anniversary with them, and right now my title is VCIO, which stands for Virtual Chief Information Officer. Which basically means that like I act as an IT consultant for a bunch of customers, small businesses that have, you know, my biggest customer has about 500 employees. My smallest has 5 or 6.
Okay.
You know, so we do outsourced IT, and we have about 115 employees. And most of what I do is like consulting, which is not too bad. So I get to work from home most days, and yeah.
Man, working from home. Sometimes I wish I could do that. Do you ever get like, I don't know, do your walls ever close in on you? Do you ever wish you were working outside of home, or do you appreciate being home?
I find that every time I miss people, and part of this is like why I started the channel. But every time I miss people, I just go to the office for the day, and by about noon, I'm ready to come home. You know, there's a lot of noise, a lot of distraction, a lot of other things going on, and I don't miss the commute. But yeah, I mean, it can be hard being home alone all day. My dogs are the only, you know, they're here with me, but
Yeah.
anyway.
So then let's talk about your channel.
Mhm.
Let's just jump right into it. What motivated you to start Improve Garage? You have over 11,000 subscribers. So, I mean,
Mhm.
your channel is relatively, I mean, bigger than mine, that's for sure. How long have you had a channel, and what motivated you to get it going?
Yeah, so I just had 4 years come up because YouTube reminds you of that. I want to say it was maybe in March. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think what really started it was COVID. So I was working in the office every single day from like 2015 until, you know, March of 2020, right? We all went home for 2 weeks, and then 4
Yeah.
years later, I just never went back to work. 5 years later. Um, so I was working from home, and I had 4 kids in the house that were all here going to school, and like trying to do the remote schooling thing. And one of them was a kindergartner. So like I'm helping her do like Zoom classes with like her kindergarten teacher while I'm like still supposed to be working, and all of that. And I just like I needed something to kind of get my mind off of all the stuff, like escape from the house, right? But we couldn't really go anywhere. So I started spending more time in my garage. And at the time I had a GLC 43, which is a like a AMG Mercedes, a black SUV. And it was really the most expensive and nicest car that I'd ever owned at that point, right? You know, it took a lot to get that for me. And it was really like I was a reach for me to buy it. And it came, and it was used, but it only had like 8,000 miles on it, but it was like all scratched and swirled, and it had like a bunch of water spots on the roof and all kinds of stuff. So I started trying to fix that. And I kind of got big into Chemical Guys, because Chemical Guys is like big in California, right? We have the detail garages and all these places where you can go in and buy a bunch of Chemical Guys products, but I couldn't get their polishes and compounds to like finish out to the point that they weren't all hazy. Um, so I started digging in, watching stuff on YouTube, you know, like Kevin Brown and Larry Casilla, and I found Matt, I found OG. And you know, I started digging into some of his stuff, and he was somebody that I actually related to because we have like a really similar background, right? He grew up in Pennsylvania too. He went to school for engineering too. He worked at a stereo shop too. Like we actually have a
Yeah.
lot of overlap, interestingly enough. So I started watching him, And then he did this podcast for, well, he still does it, but he did this podcast for a number of years called Dialed In. And I kind of went back to the beginning of that podcast and started listening to like every single episode while I was like out in my garage cleaning it or doing painting or doing whatever I was doing. And he talked about like his obsessive compulsive disorder and not being able to connect with other humans and not having shared interests and not having like real life friends and all this other stuff. And then starting the channel to like get out of his own head and starting communications with other people that shared similar interests. And I mean, all of that related to me. So I was like, well, shoot, I'm out here anyway. I might as well turn the camera on. Right. So I did. And, and 4 years later, I just really never stopped. So yeah, I mean, that's the long-winded version of, how it started. And it was never supposed to be like, I don't know, like I don't plan content really to a degree. Like I just kind of, I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm going to turn the camera on. And if you want to hang out, cool. And if you don't, then that's fine too. And, I never really needed the YouTube thing. I've got a job, I've got income, I've got everything else,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. How did you feel about, it's so funny. I see people in here, again, I feel like Chemical Guys, that's just got to be like that one brand that almost everybody tries for the first time, right? When they're just getting into it. I took a Chemical Guys class though, a detailing class, a polishing class. The worst money I've ever spent in my life. Yeah, their polishes and their compounds, awful. They were the worst to work with. I felt like I didn't learn a thing. I felt like I'm just telling you, it was the worst money I ever spent, and I didn't learn a thing about polishing. But I did know, and I was a newbie then, but I
Right.
knew that what I was using in terms of polishes and compounds, like I knew they were crap. Like I could just tell.
Yeah, I mean, I
know?
tried the whole V line. I tried the whole like the V 32, 34, 36, 38. I tried the C4 and P4, the
Yeah.
cutting compound something or other,
Yeah.
like those 4Cs and the perfection polish. I actually found a local guy, a shop in Santa Maria. This guy owns it's called California Detail, and he does like a lot of industrial stuff. People go there with their trailer with their water tank and he fills it for them, and he sells like not Superior products but like Malco and like some larger
Yeah.
stuff that's more
Yeah.
industrial.
Yeah.
And I walked in there one day and I just said like, hey, can I pay you to show me how you polish? And he was like, no, but I tell you what, you can come back later on this afternoon. I've got a car that I'm going to be doing and you could spend some time with me doing it. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
I go by and we're there and, we spent some time on this other car. Then he's helping me on my car and he pulled out like Auto Magic. I want to say it was the 3-part system from Auto Magic, which is
Okay.
very similar to like 3D's 3-part system and
Yeah.
solvent based. And it worked really, really well. So I bought all of it from him. And then that was kind of where I started digging into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I still like their honeydew snow foam.
I have a bottle of it in my garage.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know.
Mhm.
I've always enjoyed using
Mhm.
it. And I mean, I haven't used it in a while, but every now and then I'll still pull it out.
I still use, they have
I
a
mean,
Nonsense, which is an
yeah,
invisible super cleaner.
yes,
That
I
works
like it.
fantastic on headliners.
I like it. Yes.
Um,
Their VRP is not bad.
no, it's
Like,
not. And
it's really
the
not.
trim and tire gel isn't bad. The tire kicker, tire dressing. They have like the problem with Chemical Guys is they have like 7 of everything. So you have to buy
Yeah.
like, and I did that actually early on. Some of the first videos were like, I bought all 7 Chemical Guys dressings and used them, and which one is the best?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anyway.
Eddie says their waterless is good. I think so too.
Yeah,
And
the
I like the way it
Eco
smells.
Smart RU or whatever it is. Tire
Yeah.
kicker, yep.
Yeah. There's still a couple good things. I mean, but you're right. They just are such a selling machine. Like it's just all about I just think it's more political than actually selling good products. I think they just want to sell
Mhm.
products. I don't know. So talking about products then, you review quite a few products on your channel.
Yeah.
So what has been your favorite product line that you've reviewed so far? And what's been your worst? Let's talk about the good first. What
Okay.
have you enjoyed?
Well, I mean, most of the products I've tested, I've enjoyed. I'd say standouts. I really like Clean Tool. They have, this focus on safety, which I think is kind of forward thinking.
Yeah.
the white bottles, they have great sprayers. They're really effective. But they're really good, especially their interior stuff is really good. But even like their degreaser's good. Their
Oh my God, their degreaser is amazing.
yeah,
I don't blew me away.
Glossify and the Gloss Booster, those are both awesome. Like they're yeah, I mean their line was really, really good. I'd say of everything I've reviewed in the last 2 years, I probably kept the most Clean Tool products, like actually after I was done. And the ones I didn't keep, I sent a whole bunch from over to Becca, but like they were all really good. I would have continued using them. There wasn't anything that they had that I didn't like.
Yeah.
I also have really enjoyed Garage Therapy. I've been spending a lot of time with that. Their instructions are fantastic. They use good sprayers. Again, they have like, they're really highly dilutable, but they give you like all of these 4 best experience, do it this way, that kind of thing. And I don't know. I like when I'm reviewing things, I want to review them well, and I want to review them properly. So when a customer gives you like really good instructions, it makes it a lot easier to do them justice, right? To not say that something isn't great because I didn't use it right or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then worst, I mean, you're kind of putting me on the spot. It's like being on a,
I mean,
it's like being on a podcast and
it.
asking who's the most boring YouTuber while all of your friends are watching you.
Who
So
could that be?
I won't say it's the worst, because some of their stuff is really effective, but I would say Monkey Head was probably the hardest one that I've tested. And it's because their instructions were kind of fuzzy, right? Like, spread a good amount or something like that, rather than saying like, do 1 spray per panel or add such and such amount of soap to your cannon. It was just very ambiguous. So again, when I'm doing a test, like I want to do it justice, and I want to test it right, and I want to make sure that like the people are getting, a good honest opinion of something. And it's really hard to do that if a company doesn't give you good instructions. And I try purposefully not to do like, I don't know, a bunch of research ahead of time, because I don't want to go watch a video from Eddie and have him say that like something slaps, and then like I have a bad experience and now I'm second guessing myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. I have not tried all of the Monkey Head products, but I've tried a few. I really did like their wheel cleaner, their tire cleaner. It wasn't bad.
Their wheel and tire was fantastic. Their degreasers are great. I mean, they don't, like, after using Clean Tool, they're pretty aggressive in terms of like scent, but yeah.
Everybody is
Conway.
I know, that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. They're offering people caffeine shots to keep us awake. Yeah, I have not tried Clean Tool Interior yet, so I guess I need to. It is sitting on my shelf.
Yeah.
So what makes you give all of your products away? So maybe this is something that I need to really look into, because you review and then you give away. I review and I set them on my shelf. Is it just because, you have space? I feel like your garage is spacious. So what is the deal?
I do and I don't, though. Like, I probably have 200 products sitting in my garage right now, give or take, between all of the lines that I haven't tested and everything that's already up on the shelf. And I found that I was getting to a point where I was buying shelves to hold product. And last year, it was really eye-opening for me, because I had spent like the entirety of 2024 and never once did I use my favorite products of 2024, like to actually wash a car. Because every time I'm washing a car, I'm doing it on camera. And, so I didn't use GSF. I didn't use Armor Wheel. I had to like go and do a video specifically on the products that I really enjoyed, to like remind myself why I enjoyed them and make sure that they were still good to do my best of video at the end of the year. So I guess I just got to a point where it's like, well, there's always going to be products coming in and out of the door. I have, 8 brands here right now that I haven't tested. And if I sold something and I really decided that I liked it and missed it one day, I'll just buy it again. So generally what I do is I buy stuff. Normally
Jeff's money's different.
Yeah. Thanks, Eddie. I buy stuff and then I sell it for 50 cents on the dollar at the end. I go on secondhand detailing and I say, okay, it's 90% full, so I'm going to sell it for 45% of retail. And then somebody buys it almost instantly. I stick a bunch of stuff in a box and ship it to them. And then other people get to try stuff too. And maybe one day I'll revisit it, but there's always something new to try, it seems.
Yeah. And that is the problem. Well, I shouldn't call it a problem. Well, I have a problem because I can't stop buying chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of, what you just said, I kind of just had an epiphany because you're saying that you caught yourself buying shelves to fit
Mm-hmm.
your products. And I just did that the other day. In fact, I bought a whole cabinet to fit my
Yeah.
products.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I should really think about that.
No, I spent something like $500 on 8-foot long shelves for the back wall, the ones that are up high above the TV there on that back wall, like up above my pressure washer. I spent like $500 on shelves just to put bottles on it. And
Yeah.
like, why?
Yeah. Well, I like Bruce's comment because I kind of agree. If you've seen, there was a vlog that Jeff did not too long ago, and he legit has a bubble. What is it, like a bubble maker? And I'm not talking about the bubbles you blow. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the packing bubbles. So I kind of feel like you just really like playing with that machine, and so you just want to pack boxes all day. That's kind of where I'm
Yes.
going with that.
Yes, I like packing boxes all day. I do some eBay stuff on the side. So just like the detailing supplies, I'll buy a pair of headphones and play around with them for a bit and decide I want something new, and then maybe I end up selling the old ones. So
Yeah.
I've always had a really strong eBay business. And then I do some other things, like I sell things for other people and charge a fee, and that's part of what funds my channel as well. So yeah, that machine made it so that I didn't have to keep all of these rolls of bubble wrap, because I was going to like this industrial supply place down the street, and I would buy like a giant bag of bubble wrap. Well, it was like a 6-foot tall, 3-foot wide roll. Well, 4 rolls in like one giant bag in it. And then I have to store that thing for 3 months until I use it. So yeah, the machine just lets me print bubble wrap. Basically. It's really sweet.
It really kind of is. And to be honest with you, I might be in the wrong career because I'll tell you what, every time I see like a packing video where you see companies like actually packing, chemicals or, whatever it is into a box, I always think like, God, that looks like so much fun. Like, I think that's something that I'd like to do. Maybe I should retire and then get a little side gig packing boxes. I don't know why, but that just seems like it'd be so soothing to me. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like Tetris.
I guess it is, right? Like, no, but really, right? Let's see how well we can pack this box.
Yeah.
Yes, I really like it. So let's talk about your channel a little further. So your
Okay.
channel, when you started your channel,
Mhm.
what was your intention? What were you intending to make videos about, and how did that evolve? Has it changed? Because you do a lot of videos. It's not just reviews on detailing products. You're doing things that, like with car stereo systems, you're
Mhm.
showing us you have a bubble maker.
Mhm.
You're doing all the things.
Yeah.
So what is the vision for your channel?
Well, I mean, kind of like I said it earlier with the whole mat thing, like I found that like I have people in my life, but I don't have similar interests with them. And I didn't really have anybody to share that stuff with. So I just decided that I was just going to record what I was already doing and share it. And people would watch or they wouldn't watch, and they would comment or they wouldn't comment. And we would have some sort of interactions, positive, negative, otherwise. And, that's kind of what I've always done. I recorded putting a stereo in my car because I was going to put a stereo in my car. I didn't do it for the video. I did it because I wanted to do it. I pulled the camera out for everybody else, but also for me. So, the vision originally was just like, I want to be 2 guys hanging out in the garage, like my buddy's there with me, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then over time, I'd say, I got a little bit deeper into detailing. I met Eddie and Jamie and the Pan and like the whole House of Rags crew, that whole family. And I don't know, I've kind of gone a little bit deeper in the detailing stuff than anything else really. But at the end of the day, like I like electronics. I like, I work in IT. I play around with stereos. I have, RC cars. I have, I go shooting. I don't ever record any of that, but I I might do IT videos or household stuff because it's like it's what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
redid this whole office. A lot of that got recorded too. The acoustic treatments and the DMF lights and that random stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'd say the way that it's changed really is that I think I'm taking feedback a little bit more than I was in the beginning. If somebody asks me, have you ever tried XYZ product? Um, I consider it now. Like I might buy something just to test it because somebody else asked me about it. Like an
Yeah.
example would be, recently I did a video on like watching YouTube on your CarPlay screen inside your car. And that was because like Becca sent me a random message and said like, hey, have you ever tried these YouTube CarPlay adapter thingies? And it needs to be something that I'm interested in, because I don't ever want to do a video just for the sake of a video. I want it to be something that I'm actually interested in. But, I'm starting to, talk to people and do things that they might be interested in. Or
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm thinking about your setup because you're like Bruce, you're like Eddie in here. Like your guys' camera setups are just insane. Like literal. I mean, you guys aren't messing around. So when you first started this whole YouTube thing, did you
Mhm.
already know about cameras? Did you already know about photography and videography? Because like I said, your setup is legit. So did you start that way or has that also evolved as you've
Yeah,
gotten?
this is my fourth or fifth camera set up. So I was kind of always into cameras. In high school, I did I did sound and lights for a lot of our plays and productions and stuff like that. And I also would do like videography for a lot of them. So I kind of always had interest, but I wasn't really, like nobody's ever paid me to be a photographer, if that makes sense. Um, Bruce's setup is on another level. Like
Oh
his
yeah, it is.
his secondary equipment is better than my primary equipment, like just in general. But no, I mean, when I started off with an iPhone, like most people do.
Yeah.
And then I started getting annoyed with the iPhone because like I'd get a phone call, I had a Bluetooth headphone in and I forgot about it and it's over there on the counter and now like I didn't hear any of the video, or the storage was full even though the storage wasn't full and like it stopped recording 20 minutes in, or my battery's dead now, and like all this stupid stuff that happens when you're recording with your phone. So
Yeah.
I tried an action cam. Then I went Sony. I did like two different Sony cameras in a row and I had a bunch of problems with them overheating. And then ultimately I ended up going with a Panasonic, and I really like my setup now. And I will say like, that's something that I wish I did earlier. I wish I invested in camera gear earlier, because the having a good camera makes it a lot less of a pain in the ass to make a video, right? I never set out to make the video. I set out to do the thing. And I just set up the camera to share it with other people and hopefully have friends or some sort of interactions with people. So, having the camera set up and just doing its thing without me having to worry about it is actually really nice.
Yeah.
And one of the best parts about what I have now, it's like, well, I can record for like 5 hours without pressing a button. I just hit the button and go. And it just records. And I've got the battery life and the storage and the all the stuff to make it run. So I don't really have to think about it. And then at the end, I just go in and I edit it. And you see my editing is like, your editing is way better than mine in terms of like your music tracks and your jumps and like the things that happen in your videos or Eddie's videos or some of the other creators where you can see like they're far more creative. I never really set out to be creative. I set out to do the thing that I was doing, and now I'm
Yeah.
just sharing it with other people. So like the editing to me is almost the chore at this point. I
Yeah.
I often edit myself
It is.
watching myself at like 2x, which is a little
Yeah.
ridiculous, but
Yeah.
because I just want to get it
Oh,
done and get it uploaded.
I am the same. Editing drives me crazy sometimes, and I don't even care. Like sometimes I just let things go that most people would cut out because it's like, you know what? It is what it is. You like it or you don't. Full send.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
editing is a beast. So we have 61 people on. We've been on for about half an hour. Let's do a giveaway.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Are you
Let's
good
do
with
it.
that?
Yeah.
All right. So we have lots of giveaways tonight, you guys. Tonight's going to be a fun one. So the
Yeah.
first thing that I'm going to give away, let's do a case, I believe, right? A case. This
Yes.
is from Adamo.
There
Case
there
of
are
Stay Strong.
30 cases of Stay Strong in my garage right now. And each
There you
case
go.
has six bottles and 6 Tolco sprayers in it. So you're going to get a case. Adamo bought them. Adamo from Adamo's Garage. You see him in
Yep.
literally every chat and every video from every creator on the Thor network. So yeah, I'm going to send you a case, and I'm going to send you 3 Mr. Twisters, care of Adamo. He is the person who paid for them, even though they will come from my house.
Yes, thank you, Adamo. Love it. So 3 Mr. Twisters and a case of Stay Strong, which is an amazing detailer. If you have not tried Stay Strong, which has now kind of evolved into Lightning, but still amazing. So let's go ahead and do this. So first question, chat. Let's see. What was Jeff's first car, year and make? He talked about his first car, year. It wasn't 2001. It wasn't in 90. Oh,
yep.
I think he got it. Am I right?
Yeah. Dark Dragon said 92, and before that he said Prelude 93. So I think Dark Dragon.
Dark Dragon before. I didn't see it, but if you see it, that's good to go.
Yeah.
So it's Dark Dragon.
Yeah, he got it twice. So yeah, he's good.
Okay.
Dark Dragon 525. Shoot me an email. It's Jeff. I'll put it in the chat here. It's Jeff@improvegarage.com.
Actually, I have it too, right there.
Perfect.
Very good. Dark Dragon. Congratulations. We're going to do at least 2 or 3 more giveaways tonight. So definitely stay on. Let's actually go ahead while we're at it and let's get to product of the week.
Nice.
So here we go.
This week's product of the week is CleanTool's Industrial Degreaser. This degreaser is a concentrated, high-power liquid for cleaning heavily soiled and greasy surfaces. The product perfectly separates greasy and difficult grime from the surface, and it is safe. It contains organic solvents that are good for the environment and the user. It doesn't contain any of those petroleum nasty chemicals, which make the inhalation harmful to your health. If you have not tried this yet, get it today at thehouseofrags.com. Chris 10 will save you some change.
And you guys really
we were just talking about that.
I'm telling you what, that degreaser is insane. If you have not seen my video, guys, go check it out. You know, I had somebody comment on my video, like, you know, big whoop, basically, like you could go downtown to your local, like O'Reilly's or, you know, parts store and get, you know, some simple green or whatever he's talking about. And I'm like, people just don't understand. It's not just about a degreaser. It's the fact that it's safe. And it, oh my God, it's touched by God. Like it did God's work.
It's the experience. Really, it is.
It is.
I did. So I have this car, and it's like the biggest piece of shit ever. It's a 2001 Toyota Corolla, and it's got 360 some thousand miles on it. And it was actually Jessica's uncle. It wasn't running right, and anyway, we were just helping him get out of this car. So I picked this thing up. I don't think it's ever been washed since 2001. And I just took the clean tool and I sprayed it around the engine bay, and I ran it straight, and I realized you can dilute it pretty heavily, but I just did it straight. I just sprayed it around the engine bay. Like 30 seconds later, I sprayed it off. It was like 95% cleanup with no agitation. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And it doesn't it's not like a third grader is choking you when you're using it. Like it's great.
Although I will say it says it smells like orange juice, and I call bullshit. Like it does not, but it does smell citrusy. It's not a bad smell. I just was like, I don't know. When I think about orange juice, I was just like hoping for this like fragrant, you know, orange smell, and I didn't get that. So I was a little disappointed. But Bruce is in here. Bruce, I'm just kidding. I did not smell it. I didn't.
Did you watch his video yesterday, his short?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched his YouTube video, but I did see his short, and I commented it was a guy who was like crying because I was so sad, because I know how bad it is, right? And that's right. I did. I wanted the Sunny D, like the Tampico. I mean, I think Tampico's for, I don't know. Does anybody else know what Tampico is? I might be the only one who knows what Tampico is. That's what the people bought when you couldn't afford Sunny D.
So Clean Tool has 2 different products that smell like orange, and one of them really smells like orange. I forget what it is, and that one does not. And it's the mask of the degreaser is really hard to scent. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm just one of those, like, it really is part of the experience. And again, Bruce, please don't listen to me. I'm not speaking to you, just everybody else. It's part of the experience. Like, if it doesn't smell good, it's not as fun. Right? Is that just me?
I 100% agree. It's about the experience.
It really is. Like I want a big whiff. Just kidding. No, I don't. Just kidding. All right. So let's get back into a couple questions actually, because I do want to get to some people's questions. I've started a few. Sorry.
Okay.
Brian Rushing says, Jeff, if you had to live with a single product line moving forward, like forever, what brand would it be? That's a good question, Brian. Thank you for putting him on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, I probably would have said ADS because they have a lot of really solid products. I think Clean Tool probably has the most versatile line. Like there's just a lot of different products. But I'm really enjoying Garage Therapy. I'm not through the whole thing yet, but I mean, every product I've tested from them has been insane. So
yeah,
I think today I would pick Garage Therapy. 3 weeks ago, I would have picked Clean Tool. And a year ago, I would have picked ADS. It just depends on where I'm at with my kind of journey of testing stuff.
Yeah. I like Garage Therapy too. I haven't tried everything yet, but what I've tried so far, pretty good. Look what.
Have you tried the ceramic? Have you tried the ceramic detailer yet?
No, I haven't. So that's what I.
Yeah, I've never had a product. It's the first time that I've had a product that makes me think I'm no longer going to use OG Drying Aid. I've been using OG Drying Aid forever. Eddie makes fun of me for it. Like, it's amazing. Wait. It's really good.
The OG from
like,
I can't even talk. Obsessed Garage Drying Aid.
Yeah, OG has something called OG Drying Aid. It's B&B Slipstream, which it's a B&B product. It's made by B&B Blending. The B&B calls it Slipstream, but OG has the same thing, except it's not pink. It has no dyes in it, and it has no scents in it. And I always really liked it because it was just very simple and very slick. And I like slick. I like the car to be really nice and slick and smooth when you're done. And as a topper, like it doesn't build. It's not really durable. All of that. And I think the quick detailer is every bit as good as that. And it smells fantastic. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
Tang. It's a kick in the glass.
I know, Tang. Okay, so what I haven't, somebody said, I think it was Sock that just said I haven't heard that forever. And goodness, I haven't either. And you guys, I used to put it in a cup and just literally eat the powder. Like that's how much I used to love Tang. Like I would literally pour, my mouth would just be orange everywhere. I'd climb up on the counter when I was a kid. I'd get it to the cabinet and just pour it in a bowl. My mom would come in. I will never forget. Man, that stuff was good. Do they still make that stuff? My kids are missing out.
They do. My kids have it.
Do they? Oh man, I never see it anymore. I'm gonna order some. I just had an epiphany again. Like my kids have never tried Tang. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Use Instacart. You'll have it before the podcast is over.
I mean, I think I should. Hold on. No, I'm just kidding.
You are the queen of DoorDash.
I really am. Does anybody else utilize DoorDash as much as I do? And not even DoorDash, Shipped. Like, I refuse to go to the store. I just refuse. I don't like people. I hate the parking lot. And I just feel better when I'm at home and the things that I need are brought to my doorstep. Like, hello, COVID ruined me.
I had a solid 2-year run where I was using Instacart every single week for groceries. Yeah. And if you they charge for it, but like
it's $99 a year. It's nothing. That's nothing.
I had the Chase, like Chase has an Instacart card and I just pay it off at the end of the month anyway, but like you do that and you get 5% back and it like covers your tip and stuff like, or most of your tip, half of your tip. Yeah. I was normally doing like 10% on a grocery order, which was, $200 or something. But yeah.
I mean, I'll pay that extra. Has anybody in the chat ever tried to go to the store with, 3 to 4 kids? Heck no, it's not happening.
Yeah. I was just left mine home, went by myself, but it's hard to do that when you're.
It's hard to do that, and my kids don't just like sit nicely in the basket anymore. Somebody's always got to be like pushing each other or they want me to drive that big old red cart. That's like
last time I took a kid to Target, she flipped the cart over in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah. My kids too, they'd be racing down the aisle, just dropping everything in. I'm like, I get to the counter, I don't even notice. And I have like, $100 extra worth of who knows what the hell in my bath. Yeah. You know, it just doesn't happen. All right. I love this banter, but let's get back to a couple questions I have, and then we will do another giveaway. So, what I like, Jeff, your title for your channel is Improved Garage. By the way, how did you come up with that
Hmm. Well, I mean, I just Googled a couple different things and I came up with a couple ideas. And I don't know. I just wanted something that was different and centered around the garage. And I didn't want to copy OG, but kind of be adjacent to it because that was,
name?
my inspiration. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of came up with it. And then the logo, that's AI. I found
Yeah.
like some free logo design website and I put in Improved Garage and they came up with, a couple different designs and I bought the one that I have. So I have the rights to like print it and do all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, again,
I
not
will
creative.
say, I will say, I watched Matt's channel here and there, but when I first started watching him, I couldn't. The guy just really used to piss me off. But after watching, I don't even remember who the podcast was with anymore, where he kind of explained himself and his background. I have a newfound respect for him, to be honest.
Mhm.
Um,
Same thing
he is,
happened to me. I watched him
yeah,
on VinWiki. He was like a guest of Ed Bullion's in like the VinWiki YouTube channel, and it like really turned me off. But
yeah,
yeah, when you hear like what's going on inside him and how like he's got this persona of like, well, I'm better than you, and that's junk, and everything's
yeah,
janky, and there's only one best way, and all this stuff. But then like
yeah,
he's also pretty broken. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and also like completely aware of that and
yeah.
on full display. But
Yeah. And I appreciated that. You know what I mean? Because there were times where he would just talk crap about something and I'm like
mhm,
literally holding it in my hand. Like,
mhm,
what the hell, man?
yeah.
Knock it off. But so, anyway, coming back to your garage, you have a beautiful garage. I know you're not in it right now, but I'm
Thank
sure
you.
people have seen it within your videos. But let's talk about, because I feel like you kind of have it together. Like you know what a garage is all about. You have a really efficient space around you. So for someone who is looking to update their garage, which me,
Mhm,
right? What tools or storage solutions do you consider essential? I know Bruce is someone else that can talk about this because
mhm.
if you've seen his garage, kind of on that same level. But what do you think are essential for getting a garage in its
Yeah.
best shape?
Well, I think part of it first, you have to define your purpose. Like, what am I using this garage for? What's the intent? Is it for washing my car? Is it for doing woodworking? Is it for doing mechanics work? Like, what do you actually want to do with it? And, if it's somebody who's doing woodworking, might have a completely different set. They want a dust collection system. They want, a bunch of vacuums. They want built-in tabletops that are convertible so that they can like hide their saw but not put it away. And somebody who's doing mechanic work, an array of cabinets is cannot be beaten. A workbench, a vise, those types of things are really, really useful. For us, for doing detailing, I mean, I would say like the number one thing is get a hose reel. Put your hose on the wall because there is nothing that makes a car wash take more time than having to get all of your crap out and put it all away when you're done. And
Yeah,
once I added the hose reel to the wall, and I have the Cox, and that which is like the most popular one, the Cox 312-100 or whatever, or 112-100. There's MTM, there's a bunch of other companies that have them, and I haven't really used or experienced them, but like Adamo has an MTM and he's perfectly fine with it. And he's a pretty discerning person. So I'd say it's
yeah,
probably fine for your average normie. Um, just the ability to like grab your gun, stick it on the hose, walk out, wash your car, and then roll it back up when you're done is huge. I
yeah,
can wash a car start to finish in like 15 to 20 minutes if I really want to and put my like effort towards it. Um, so I would say having cabinets are really nice. A nice array, like a single wall of cabinets. Nobody's ever going to be disappointed that they did that. But for detailing, I would say the hose reel is like the number one thing that changes your life.
yeah,
Um, and then I guess lighting. Lighting is also a big deal because especially like during the winter time, you go from having like there was nothing worse than going to work, coming home at like 5 o'clock and it's already dark, and your whole
yeah,
day is shot. But being able to do like a rinseless wash in your garage at night, or be able to just go hang out there, that was really useful also.
Yeah. I am, man, that has been my biggest, I think, disappointment with my garage so far is that I really can't do that. I have no lighting except for the
Mhm.
one like measly little light, your track home comes with. You know what I mean? And I really wish I had
Mhm.
more efficiency in that garage. But I think more than anything, like space or a Cox reel, that's great. Sock is really, really excited about getting a Cox reel. I think he just
Mhm.
likes saying Cox. But sorry, Sock.
We all
Um,
do.
you know what I mean? It's fun to say. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I think my problem is just the space. Like, trying to figure out the efficiency in terms of space. Like, how can I make my space work? Because my space is so small, and I
Mhm.
don't know how many people struggle like I do. But I could come up with all the solutions in the world. But where am I going to put the damn things? That's my issue.
Well, and space is
Too.
relative. I mean, my garage is bigger, but I had 3 cars in it for a long time, so I still had to be
Yeah.
pretty efficient with it.
Yeah.
So I would say like the big thing that I found is, and I really struggled with this early on, is like a garage is not a shed and a garage is not an attic. So if you're somebody who has bicycles and scooters and toys and camping gear and all of
Yeah.
this stuff, like if you have the opportunity to build a shed, I built a shed in my backyard, an 8x10 for like $1,000. It was a kit from Lowe's, no big deal. And it allowed me
Yeah.
to move all of this lawn care equipment and stuff like that out of my garage and just open the entire thing up for me to use. And
Yeah.
our house had an attic over the garage, so there's like I actually have a space over the top. There's a pull down staircase on like the 2-car side of mine, and all of my Christmas gear and Halloween and fall and Easter and whatever decorations we have. I don't even like, there's tons of decorations up there. All the camping gear is up there. Um, so now it's like, okay, well, what's in the garage? It's the things that are supposed to be in the garage, supposed to be, like the
Yeah.
tools, the cleaning supplies, that kind of stuff. And then the other thing was kind of letting go of some things that I
Yeah.
borderline liked, the things that you test that are like a 7 out of 10. And they're like, I really like this. I don't necessarily want to throw it away, but also I like that one over there better. So do I really
Yeah.
need to hang on to this one? And just doing all of that, secondhand detailing has really helped me. I keep shouting them out in my videos. Like there's a Facebook group called Secondhand Detailing. If you're not a member of
Yeah.
it, you should join. But
Yeah.
there are people all the time like me that have way too much crap and are just selling stuff, and I have a couple friends that are part of the like the Thor group, the Thor affiliates,
Yeah.
like you and Becca and Bruce and Jamie and Eddie and Keeve and all these other people. And like, we all kind of share ideas, but also we sometimes share products.
Yeah.
Ryan Weiss, Fine Detailing, reached out to me and he's like, hey, I'm going to do a coding video. Do you have any coatings? Well, yeah, like I have 3 or 4 coatings that are almost completely gone. I really can't use them for anything, but here, I'm going to send them to you. Like,
Yeah.
for us to spend full retail on something to do a review, it's really hard to do long term. So
Yeah.
anyway, I guess what I'm saying is like, just try to limit the amount of stuff that you're storing. You can't put
Yeah.
10 gallons of shit in a 5-gallon bucket. And
Yeah.
sometimes we're all trying to.
Yeah. My problem is too that I can't I don't have that discernment when there is a new product line that comes out that I only want this product or this product or
Mhm.
maybe try this one. I think I need the entire line, even though I really don't. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I buy the whole lines of products and multiple times, in a row because we have multiple products coming out at the same
Mhm.
time. And then I'm
I go on the Thor Facebook group, hashtag one of everything. And I do that. Like I
yeah,
literally do that all the time. And part of it is like, I don't necessarily need to do it right now. But I
yeah,
know, just like Yum. Yum was just released and Yum is halfway sold out of like 4 or 5 different products,
yeah,
which is awesome. I'm thrilled for Eddie and Jamie, and there's no way they could predict that, right? They don't know which product lines are going to take off and which ones aren't. But like, for me as a creator, I want to have those products on the shelf so that I'm ready to do some videos when they go live, because once I don't know, the hype is the wrong word. I just don't know the right word. But like
Yeah.
once everybody isn't really excited about it anymore, they're not watching videos about it anymore. And the videos drive the affiliate revenue, which allows me to buy the stuff. Like,
Yeah. That makes
which,
sense.
so I buy one of everything too, and
Yeah.
then try to test them as quickly as I can and let go of what I don't love. You know,
Yeah.
so Garage Therapy, the whole line is amazing. I'll probably keep 2 products.
Yeah. So in hindsight, don't be a hoarder. Is that the message I'm hearing?
I think so.
I think that might be my problem.
I tend to hoard wheel cleaning products because I go through so much of them. But
Yeah. Oh, me
beyond
too.
that, like I always just let go. And the other thing I don't do is I don't when I buy one of everything, I don't buy the ceramics because generally ceramics take a long time to go through. They tend to be more expensive products. And like my car can only have so many coatings,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
True. Yeah. I think we're ready for another giveaway. We have 68 people on. What do you
Okay.
think, Jeff?
Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it.
So this one is sponsored by Becca Green. Thank you,
Mhm.
Becca. And this is, I think we're calling it Jeff's kit. So I think, Jeff, I think she asked you the things that you would like to put in a kit. And so if you win this giveaway, you are getting Detail Co's Loki, you are getting Clean Tool Interior Plus, you're getting Garage Therapy Quick Detailer, and then you are getting Detail Co Guardian because that is literally the best.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, it's the best right now. If you
Mhm.
haven't tried Guardian, you guys, it's my absolute favorite.
I like it 3 to
So
1. You can go straight if you want to, if you like
yeah,
glossy tires, but 3 to 1 is
yeah,
like
chef's
chef's
kiss.
kiss.
It's amazing, and I do love that. Like, I love that it's dilutable and that you
Mhm.
can kind of figure out if you want, the glossy donut or the matte. Shout out to Boom Boom Room if you guys know, you know. All right. So here we go. The question is for the chat. What age was Jeff when his parents opened up a restaurant?
Okay.
What age was Jeff? You're going to have to help me because they start coming quick.
No, I got you.
Okay. Oh, I see it.
Yep, enthusiast got it. He's first.
Enthusiast got it. So Loki, Clean Tool Interior Plus, Garage Therapy, Quick Detailer, and Detail Co Guardian all goes to Enthusiast. Congratulations. Enthusiast, if you will please email Jeff at improvedgarage.com and
Mhm.
then we will make sure to get you your items.
Yep.
Congratulations. Absolutely. There's a couple more questions. Gosh, we've been on for almost an hour. This has been the quickest hour ever.
Sorry about that.
No. I absolutely am loving it. There's a couple questions that I want to get to, though, before I continue with any other questions. Jeff, I do want to respect your time. So if you need to get off, please let me know.
I could stay till midnight. You're good.
Okay. Well, I might want to go to sleep
Yeah, well,
before
that's
then,
perfect.
but we'll see.
You'll tap out before I do.
Yeah, I might. So Paul from let's see, Paul is asking, what is your favorite brand of mobile electronics for audio?
It
Good
changed.
question.
It changed a lot over time. I was big into Eclipse. Eclipse ended up kind of going out of business. Fujitsu 10. Their head units were amazing. Now I'm kind of more in the Kenwood camp. I was a JL audio dealer for a long time. I really like a lot of their products. They may not be the best in every single category, but they're really, really solid. My system right now, I've got Focal components, Focal K2 Power KR 165s. I've got Moscone amplifier. And then my subwoofer is actually like a new old stock Boston Acoustics I was able to score because I was a dealer for them for a long time. I really like their stuff. But again, they're out of the out of the car audio space. So I'd say Moscone in the amplifiers, probably Focal or Morel in speakers, and then head units. I like Kenwood.
Nice. I don't know much about that type of stuff, but I'm always interested when I hear
Yeah.
about it. Definitely. Let's see. I have a Ghost here. And Ghost, by the way, I did send you your brushes, just so you know. But his question, Jeff, I know you have a DJI camera, but have you tried the Osmo Pocket yet? Thoughts on it being the best in Pam's voice?
So I do not have the Pocket. I do have the Osmo Action 4. Yes, Osmo Action 4. The Action 5 is now out. Eddie has the Pocket 3. The 4 is now out. I also have a DJI Mini 4K drone. I think that DJI does a lot of things really well. Their apps are really good. I think their products are really easy to use. I enjoy that they do like a direct connection to the microphone. So if you buy the Mic 2 TX or the Mic Minis, the kit of Mic Minis, you can connect the microphone directly to the DJI, and it uses like a high resolution connection. So you don't have to worry about like Bluetooth ruining your audio. So I would really consider the Pocket if I was starting out a YouTube channel and I just needed something basic. And actually, I recommended it to Adamo, and I believe he bought one. The Pocket 4 can do 2 DJI microphones connected to it simultaneously, directly, whether they're the Mic TX or Mic 2 TX or the Mic Mini. And that would make it really easy to do something like a SEMA show and walk around and like hand Ivan a microphone while you're also talking and like have a conversation with him. And that was something I really struggled with at SEMA. I think I would honestly strongly consider buying a Pocket for a SEMA or a situation like that.
How much does one of those set you back?
About $500. The microphones are like 200 something thereabouts. They have like an adventure kit that comes with extra batteries and a charger and stuff, and it's really a good value. So I would recommend that you look at one of those, the kit that comes with the spare batteries and stuff. It's just really nice to have.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned to you before that, you know, I went out when I shouldn't say when I first, it's probably been it was last summer actually, you know, when I thought I needed a camera and I heard somebody say GoPro and I jumped on it without really researching. I know Franco, I don't think he's on tonight, but I know he's really been to the GoPro. I hate it. I don't regret much in life, but I regret buying that damn thing. I wish I would have gone with the DJI because really it would have been the same price or somewhere near it. So now I'm stuck with this GoPro that I hate. I should sell it because it's literally brand new and go for the Osmo. But, you know, it's just one of those impulse buys. You know, I do that. I don't know if anybody else is an impulse shopper. I have a problem.
I 100% am. You know,
you know,
I own the drone that I have because I went to Costco and they happen to have it in stock.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
so
yeah, I didn't expect to buy a $400 drone today, but why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly how my mind works because why not, right? You cry once, or what is it? Buy once, cry once.
Buy once, cry once. And I try to adopt that, you know, like we were talking about cabinets earlier. I did the whole, like I had a whole array of Cobalt cabinets, and then I went and bought Sonic, and then I like sold all of my Cobalt cabinets for half price. And I've really tried to not do that, especially the last couple of years. Like if I want something, just buy the good one. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to really realize that. Sock asked, which hose do you enjoy the best for your pressure washer? Cobra Jet blue, Cobra Jet gray. Is there even a difference? Is it just the color?
There is a difference. The gray, the blue sheds color, but it's also softer on the things that it is rubbing against, if that makes sense. I really think it comes down the aesthetic of the garage. I will say the Cobra Jet blue, like so when I roll up my Cox reel, I generally use a rag in my hand and I kind of like grab the hose as I'm rolling it up, right? Well, every single time I'm done, I look at the rag and it's blue. And the blue hose is smooth jacket. So there's no like abrasion, there's no marking to anything that it rubs against. It's just very, very smooth. The gray, I think, looks better when it's clean, but it's a lot harder to keep clean. Like I used to have to take my rag and like put cleaner, like I'd spray like APC on it, and I would like hold it while I was reeling it up to kind of clean it. But I think that it can look really good depending on like the colorway of your garage and what you're going for. If you want black and gray, you know, I think it's a great option. I had mine for a long time and I ended up selling it to my neighbor down the street. He still has it.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
And I just got the gray one, which I'm excited about. I also just got a Cox reel.
Awesome.
Which I'm also very excited about. I'm really excited about getting my garage together. I think I don't know if anybody has seen in my videos, I think I've put it up a couple times. Like I really rigged my pressure washer and put it on top of like a bucket dolly just so that it rolled around with me. But the hose always gets all tripped up. The reel is going to be amazing.
The first
I'm
year
excited for it.
that I did the channel, I had like the best Greenworks pressure washer that Lowe's sells, which I now know is like the same as the worst Greenworks pressure washer that Lowe's sells. It's just got a different sticker on the top of it, you know? But the reel was really the game changer. I connected that same Cox reel that I have. I had the gray hose at the time to the, you know, this Greenworks pressure washer. And it was like a night and day difference.
Yeah.
And nothing has been as different, even like going to a Krenzla, even going to the new pressure washer that I built. Like none of that has changed my experience as much as putting the reel on the wall and just bolting it there so that I could roll it up when I'm done.
Yeah. I think I start. Oh, I do have one more question from On the
Okay.
Detail. Have you ever owned any Pioneer ODR components? I'm not even sure what that is.
No, I had tons of Pioneer head units early on. I had like super tuners and stuff like that, single like one din heads. I had I actually posted in the chat a little while ago, like the dolphin display. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Well, anybody that was into audio back in the early 2000s knows what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. But
I don't.
my the stereo shop that I was at was not a Pioneer dealer. We were Sony, Kenwood, Eclipse for head units. We were Phoenix Gold, Alpine, and JL Audio for speakers, and we did a variety of different subwoofers and amplifiers. But you kind of like every dealership needs to pick a couple brands because otherwise they can't move enough product to be enough of a partner for it to be like the brand actually supports them and gives them spiffs and kickbacks and makes it so that they're competitive when you're, you know, buying things from other people.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a lot of experience with the Pioneer stuff because we just weren't a dealer. There was another competing dealer down the street that was, and you know, we didn't move enough product to matter to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You know, Jamie just said my AR Blue died again. Asked Jeff what I should get, and somebody else just brought up the fact that, and I didn't forget about this. I actually was going to bring it up, but you actually made your own pressure washer.
Mm-hmm.
What? First of all, how is that working for you? I think Mike asked that.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to do that? And is it working well? Like, what would you compare it to?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. We get a little into electrical theory here. So I just want to start off by saying that, like, if you're just looking for something simple, buy a Krenzla, the 1322, buy it from OG. I don't care if you like matte or don't like matte or whatever. Like, the 1322 is superior to the 1622. It is just a better pressure washer. It is designed to move more water and run at lower pressures, and therefore it does a better job. I had my 1322 for 4 years. I loved it. It gave me zero issues. I sold it to Adamo. He still has it. Like, it's only had one oil change in its entire life. As far as the thing that I built, like, so I don't know. I kind of had this conversation with Keeve because Keeve was working on testing a bunch of like dual pressure washers. So he's playing with like 2 big boys and 2 Craftsman and 2 active and 2 of this and 2 of that.
Yeah.
And like trying to get to this point where he's got a ton of flow without a ton of pressure, right? Dual Ryobi, dual Karcher, they all run.
Yeah.
Like they work. Yeah. But I said to myself, and this is part of like the electrical engineer in me and the fact that I went to school for it. Well, like all of our houses are wired for 240 volts. We don't generally use 240, but like the house has 240 at the panel. And most of our devices that we have are 120. So like this lamp behind me is 120 volts. Like there's a regular outlet that it plugs into, just like anywhere you have in your entire house. But you have some appliances somewhere in your house. It might be your oven. It might be your dryer. It might be your furnace that uses 240 volt. And the magic of that is that you don't need any bigger wire. You don't need any special, like it can send twice the power through the same piece of copper that is already in your wall. So I said to Keeve, I was like, well, if we go to a 240 volt pressure washer and we already have 240 volts in our panel, literally all we need to do is change out a breaker in our panel, which is like $20, and 15 minutes of time, and anybody who's like reasonably competent when it comes to like handyman stuff could do it. We could double the size of our pressure washer without having to change anything, without having to run wires through the wall, without having to do any like major construction. We could just increase the size of our pressure washer. So the Krenzla is fantastic, but the motor is only 1.5 horsepower. And that's because 120 volts at 20 amps is like, that's what it can move. That's the most that it can actually power. So if you go to 240 volt, well, now you can do a 4 horsepower motor. And if you do a 4 horsepower motor, guess what? You can have more flow. So I built my own pressure washer. I worked with a guy at Can Pump, which Can Pump is like a Canadian pressure washer supply company, and they're more industrial. And they helped me to kind of spec out what I needed. Now, I ended up building something that like, I can't give you links to buy, because there was this adapter plate that I ended up needing that like doesn't exist. It exists, but it's not available separately, and you can't really buy it and all this stuff. But they have a kit that's like $1,100 that has like a shelf and a pressure washer and the pump and all of the stuff that you need to set this all up. Total stop, like where like you let go of the trigger and it shuts off. It has all of that all in one kit. And it's probably 90% of what I built. And it's one click. Just buy it and it comes to your house and it works. The only thing is you need to have 240 volt. But to do that, it's really, in most cases, a breaker change, maybe a receptacle, something like that. Eddie's got 240 volt in his garage. I talked to him about it already because he, you know, he was wired for like a compressor or some random piece of equipment, electric car charger, variety of things like that. But yeah, I mean, it works really, really well. I really enjoy it. I think it's an awesome unit. You know, as far as I'm concerned, like if you want a simple pressure washer that you can plug in and just run, I love the Krenzla. If you don't have the money to spend on that, then I would say either the Karcher or the Ryobi. They both have a 3-year warranty. They're both fairly reliable. They both work reasonably well. A lot of people have used them. The Active is also a good option, like the Active 2.0 or 2.3. 2.3 is a little loud. So I like, as a YouTuber, I don't love it, but as a car enthusiast, I think that it works perfectly fine.
I love my Active.
Yeah.
I mean, but I came from a Ryobi, so I mean, it's not like
and you
I
have a
know much
2.0,
different,
right?
but
The Active 2.0, the original.
but it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I have had no complaints. So, you know, people say it's loud. I don't really care. It works. That's all I care about. Chris M is asking, can I run a 240 volt through my knob and change it? I'm not sure what that means. Is that a joke I don't know about?
So
I'll just laugh because you're laughing, you know?
Back in the day, they used to have these exposed aluminum wires that ran through your attic, and it was called knob and tube. It was a tube that had the wire and then a knob that it like wrapped around, and it was a very, very old school technology that is not very safe. We'll just say that. But
the answer is no.
The answer is probably no. Conway asked why not the AR. I don't have any disparaging thing to say about the AR. I just don't have experience with it. I know Chelsea has a problem with hers right now. I know Jamie has a problem with his right now. Beyond that, I think that the AR 630 does a really good job. And I think that a lot of people that I've talked to really like it, but I've never owned one. I've never used one. I've never played with one. So therefore it's like, it becomes hard for me to, I don't know, recommend to people because I just don't know. The Krenzla sat on my shelf for 4 years. I did one oil change and it's never given me a problem. So like that to me is like the, I don't know, the BMW of pressure washers, the Porsche of pressure washers. Maybe a Ferrari can outperform it, and that's what the AR is. But at the same point, it also needs more maintenance, maybe, and maybe is a little bit more finicky, and you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah. So that's actually, I have one more question I was interested in. What, I mean, you try, I feel like, you know, if something new is coming out, you're willing to try it. So what products are you excited to try next that you haven't tried? Is there anything you haven't tried?
There's a lot that I haven't tried. I have 6 or 7 lines in my cabinet right now that I haven't tried. So right now I have a Novacar, I have Mile Deep, I have Nexen, I have Carbon Collective, I have Maniac. I've only used one of their products. I have the whole Car Pro line. I've used maybe 5 of them. There's like 20 in the line. I have maybe half of Geon. I've used about a quarter of them. Yum. I haven't really tried any of them yet, besides a wheel cleaner, and I have everything that they make. I would say personally, for some reason, I'm drawn to Nexen. I think I like their bottling. I like their labeling. I had a really good experience talking to Anthony at SEMA. I think that they really like their products and believe in their products. I'm also interested to try Mile Deep because there hasn't really been any content on it. It's just been, it was released and it kind of got overshadowed by Garage Therapy and some of the other Innova Car, other products that came out around the same time. So because there hasn't been a ton of content, I really want to play with that. And that's probably going to be the next line that I review after I go through Garage Therapy. Like I said, I have like 5 products left there, but I have one of everything that Mile Deep makes.
Yeah. I have Mile Deep too. I'm not sure if I have one of everything, but I think it's pretty close. I love Nexen Rinseless. Have you tried their Rinseless?
I have not. The ZNR or the ZNR Plus?
1 to 1,000 dilution. It's not the plus, it's just the ZNR.
Okay.
That stuff is nice.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I played around with Cutmaster and their towels and like 2 or 3 other products at SEMA. I spent some time with Anthony and like he was really gracious, spent a bunch of time with me, talked to me about a bunch of different things. And then after SEMA was over, he sent me like a box of, here's a couple sample coatings and different things like that. I have their Cutmaster system, and really what delayed Nexen for me reviewing them is Cutmaster. It got delayed coming out, and then I, bought that too. So now I have the full line to test it out.
Yeah. Nexen is good. And see, and that's the problem. Like when you have all of these brands, I mean, I don't know that all brands have like 100% like, products that slap, as that he would say, the whole way through. But there are a lot of brands that have a few decent, at least, right? A few decent products.
Yeah.
But once you have so many lines, I feel like you kind of forget what's good. You know what I mean? And they end up just being on your shelf instead of actually,
I want to figure out what is I always try to look at what is the line trying to do? How are they trying to be different? And then what is the best product that line makes? And then is that better than the best product that I've already tested in that field? Like those are kind of the 3 questions that I ask myself. So I look at something like Garage Therapy and it's like insanely detailed instructions, tons of dilution options and super effective. And okay, well, so that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to be like really accurate. It's like, this is a product line that was made by an engineer or a chemist or somebody like that is really technical. And that appeals to me as somebody who went to school for engineering. But then what are their best products and how do they compare? So in this case, the standout products were like the Ceramic Detailer and the Sigma. And I think they're amazing. And I think that they might replace some of the best that I've ever tested. That's really cool. So that's always my goal, and some of them are surprising, like Armor Detail Supply. I don't expect Bradley and DJ to be able to beat somebody who's been doing chemicals their entire life, but they kind of did on a bunch of different chemicals all at once. So I got really excited about ADS. Now, as I've started to test things from Europe and from other countries, there are some things that are a little bit better. But like I said, as a full line, like if my dad called me and said, hey, what line should I buy? Well, I would probably say like ADS because they're simple and they work and they're effective and all of that, and they're available.
Yeah. I feel like I would say the same about Detail Code too. I think Eddie and Jamie came out with a full line of products that literally I haven't tried anything that I don't like.
Yeah. Sword and Shield are awesome. Nemesis, Loki, like the whole line is really good.
Loki is freaking amazing.
And Guardian is like, again, game changer. Nemesis is something that you're going to keep for life. Loki is going to be something you're going to keep for life, but everything they have is really good.
The video Eddie just did on Endgame. I mean, I have that. I haven't tried it yet, but man, that did some real work on that prowler.
Yeah, I did a Dodge
Yeah, I'm
Ram in direct
excited.
sunlight using Endgame, and I had an excellent experience with it. I really did.
Yeah,
And it's simple. You want more cut, apply more product. You want less, apply less.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He makes 3
I
pads.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't tried Infinity yet. That's the one thing that I have not tried. I think that's the only one that Eddie will, you know, say anything about. Was that Jamie? Was that yours? Right? Wasn't that Jamie's baby, Infinity, or is that Eddie's? I can't remember now.
Infinity is
Um,
really good. The only thing I ran into an issue with it the first time I tried it because I did it straight on a dry panel. I used it like I use OG drying aid as a topper. And
yeah,
straight on a dry panel, it's not going to work. So you need to dilute it 1-to-1, 1-to-3, something like
Eddie's.
that, and you're going to have
Yeah,
an excellent experience.
yeah,
Or put it on something that's already wet, and you can do it straight, and you'll be fine.
yeah. Eddie said you slaughtered the instructions. You didn't use it right.
I think Jamie slaughtered the instructions is what he's trying to say,
Oh,
because he said use it neat, and Eddie's not taking the L on that one. That's what he said.
no, don't take that. Like I said, see, look at Adama's never had issues. I feel like you just need to follow directions. Oh, but wait.
You need some humidity. You need some water.
Yeah.
And truly, like, part of that is me calling something a drying aid and then using it on a dry car. Like, I want to call that out.
Yeah.
Like, the car wasn't wet, so I'm not trying to dry it anymore. It's already dry, right?
Yeah.
But I use it the same way that I use a different product, which is called a drying aid, and
Yeah.
then had a semi-bad experience. It was just a little streaky.
Wes saying Eddie talking about instructions like he reads them. I think he's getting better. I think he I think he's turning, he's turning a new leaf because I think I've seen him read some instructions here or there. Right, Eddie? I know you do. I know you really do. I do and I don't. I don't know. I probably should more. But I mean, I guess once you try one, you kind of feel like they're all used that way, but I guess that's not really a good way to look at it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Maybe that's
I'm
just
guilty
me.
of that too. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, right? A drying aid's a drying aid. A polish is a
Right.
polish.
Right.
Rinseless is a rinseless. But I mean, I guess, like I said, I guess it doesn't work that way. Yes. See, glove up and read instructions. 2025. We are on it, man. And you know what? I do wear gloves. You don't ever wear gloves.
I struggle with gloves. I struggle a lot. My hands sweat, and then like I take the gloves off, and then I can't put new gloves on because my hands are all wet, and I hate wearing gloves, and I don't know why. I'm
You're
awful
also
about that.
burning paint in 2025.
Yes, especially on Toyota Tundras. Shout out to Eddie.
Yeah, shout out to Eddie. Yum drying aid is I love when he calls things angel pee.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, I can't wait to try I am excited, or I get excited about lots of products. I get excited when I get anything new. If I see a package at the door, I'm excited. It doesn't really matter what's in it, but I'm really excited for Yum. I did try Yum Dressed V2 on my engine bay the other day. Works very similar to Motorplast, which is, I mean, that's a big banger in this industry. If you haven't tried Motorplast, I mean, most people have. People know it. V2 is pretty dang similar. My engine still looks good. It left it. Oh, it's beautiful. So I'm excited to try the rest of the products. We have been on for an hour and 20 minutes, and we still have 71. You must not be that boring. I'm sorry, but we've kept a pretty full house in here. So, although Bruce did say he was tired, you put him to sleep.
And Keith, I put this.
Yeah, except for Keith is still here. So Keith, why are you lying? Because you're still here.
Yes.
Yeah, gloves do suck, and I do hate when my hands sweat. My hands do sweat in gloves, but
well, I live in California, so literally everything here causes cancer.
Yeah.
So I figure I'm screwed anyway. What's the point?
Yeah, whenever I start to not wear gloves, I always think about Bruce. I feel like he's staring me down.
Right.
I do, Bruce.
In my mind, it's Ivan, but I appreciate that it's Bruce for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
What's funny is I have 2 boxes of gloves in my garage, like at all times. I have an open one and one in the cabinet, and I still don't wear them.
Yeah. Look at what Paul says. The gloves probably cause cancer.
They probably do.
Probably not wrong. Yeah. Motor plat. Oh, Chris Emma is saying it's not as hydrophilic as advertised. Well, I don't know. I've always had really good success with motor plast, but I had good success with V2. I was excited for that. Yeah, enthusiast. Everything does. And that it really pisses me off, to be honest.
Yeah.
Venom Steel Industry. We've been on for a while. I want to go ahead and take you through the hot seat. Are you ready for some questions, Jeff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So here we go. We're going to do another giveaway, guys, after the hot seat. So pay attention to some of his answers because it might be what I use. Only cause. Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to read this. If or let me know any comments that I missed here. So here we go. Would you rather win the lottery or buy your dream car?
If I won the lottery, I would buy my dream car. So I'd probably win the lottery.
Smart answer.
Miami blue Porsche 911. Miami blue. It's like a baby blue color. That or lava orange, but preferably Miami blue.
Preferably Miami blue. All right. Test the waters or dive in deep?
I'm more of a test the waters kind of person.
Okay. Do you see your glass half full or half empty?
Twice as large as it needs to be.
That wasn't an option.
I would say I'm pessimistic by nature. I don't know why.
Okay.
I call myself realistic to make it sound like I'm not pessimistic, but the reality is
that
I probably am. Yeah, I rationalize it.
Okay.
But I'd say the engineer in me says the glass is twice as big as it needs to be.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just saw
okay.
Eddie's comment that says Jeff has big ass hands. He ain't drowning. Jeff, can you show the chat your hands? Can you just show them? Show everybody.
They're just hands like anybody else's.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Eddie's got a thing for my hands. There you go. Now they're big.
Eddie's hands are huge too, man.
Yeah.
Eddie has some big hands. Okay. I don't know why hands become such a topic of conversation, but boom, boom, room for life. Here we go. Sauce on the side or sauce on top?
On the side. I like to dip.
Awesome. Okay. You're a dipper. Phone in the bathroom or no phone?
Always a phone.
Always a phone. What happens when you don't have a phone? Do you read the back of whatever's in there?
I can't imagine not having a phone. So I just can't even relate. I don't know. It's just always in my pocket. If it's not in my pocket, I have an earbud in. I don't know. So yeah, I just always have it. But otherwise, yeah, it'd be like the Dollar Shave Club pamphlet that happens to be on the back of the toilet, I suppose.
The pot potpourri bottle.
Yeah. Whatever's there.
What's here? Huh?
Dude wipes package.
Dude wipes. How about salsa mild or salsa hot?
Hot. Always hot.
Always hot. Okay. Red wine or white?
White. I don't like bitter drinks in general. I prefer sweeter. So red to me means Pinot, and Pinot's my least favorite wine.
Okay. All right.
It's Jessica's favorite, by the way.
Yes.
So there's plenty of bottles in the kitchen.
There you go. If you were going to eat takeout forever, would it be pizza or Chinese?
Always pizza. Pizza's
pizza.
Always the answer. Yeah. Chinese would be a very close second. I mean, I had Chinese for dinner tonight, but yeah, I could always eat pizza.
Nice. Do you prefer tattoos or piercings?
I don't have either.
But on just in general, on somebody else.
Probably tattoos.
Okay. Is it better to have girlfriends or guy friends?
Girlfriends.
Okay. All right, guys. Are you ready to do a giveaway? I hope you all were listening. So, Jeff, are you giving away Mile Deep?
Yes. So on the House of Rags, there is something called a pick 6 where you can pick your 6 products from a particular line and they give you like a 15% discount. So what I'm going to give away is a pick 6 of Mile Deep because it's the next line that I'm interested in testing myself. And you can pick whatever 6 products you want in 500 ml bottles and I will drop ship them directly to you. So
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So depending on what you pick, it's $50 to $80, something thereabouts in value.
just really quick before I forget, do you like sushi? Jamie wants to know.
I don't. I would prefer I would do hibachi, or I would do ramen or something like that. I mean, I'll gladly go to a place that sells sushi, but I don't love raw fish myself. I'd rather them cooked.
Okay. I was gonna do, I don't know, should we make this an easy question or a more difficult one?
You
Because
can do whatever you
we
want
could
to
go.
do. I'm happy to give stuff away. I mean, I still have
Okay.
30 cases of Stay Strong if we want to give more.
Okay. Where do you even have those? Where do you fit 30 boxes? Is it in your garage? Your garage is
Yeah,
that big.
they're in the so I have this little storage room off the back that has a bunch of stuff in it. So that's where my cabinets are with the extra chemicals, and yeah, the Stay Strong's in there too.
Okay.
Pad washers are in there also.
Like Keith says, easy. Does that mean do an easy one? I don't know if that's what that means. All right, we'll make it easy. This is going to be super easy though. Goodness.
Adamo
Okay.
saying sorry, like a typical Canadian.
Oh yeah.
I mean, shout out to
Jeff.
Canada. I love Canada, but like at the same
Yes.
point, you don't have to say sorry every day, man. It's all right.
Okay. All right, we'll make it easy. So guys, get your fingers ready and get ready to type. I hope you guys have strong Wi-Fi. What color blue does he want his dream car?
Adamo responded first, but he can't win.
Oh,
He can't
win.
He's already getting mine. So Westcat. Wait, no, sorry.
No, it wasn't Westcat.
Chris, I'm looking
Rephrased. Whoever rephrases.
Rephrased, you won.
Got it. Rephrased. I rephrased. I don't think I.
Sorry, the
recognize
comments
you,
just come
but-
flooding in on
Yes, thank you for
StreamYard.
being here. Yeah, sorry, Adamo. You'll have to. Jeff will send you Mile Deep.
Yeah,
on
do
another
something.
time.
He's gonna get Mile Deep anyway. It's fine. It's all good.
There you go. So rephrased, please email Jeff@improvedgarage.com and he will help you pick 6 Mile Deep products. Congratulations, because that is definitely a great giveaway. Thank you, Jeff, for doing that. Poor Scott, he says slow Wi-Fi here. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, we all
Rick
get
says,
that.
would you blue? I think I just want to make sure, Westcat, there was a couple other questions I want to make sure to get to. Westcat says, what is Jeff's drink of choice? I don't know if we're talking alcoholic here or.
I mean, most of the day it's water. I often drink like the Monster Zero, one of those ish a day. For alcohol, like what was in my glass during this podcast may or may not have been bourbon. And generally I don't like rye. I tend to like regular, like straight bourbons or something like that. If I was going to order a mixed drink at a restaurant, it would be either a Manhattan or an old fashioned, typically an old fashioned. So this was Knob Creek that was in the glass, but now it's empty.
Yeah. And you guys, I know, just so you know, in the chats, I know sometimes in other people's chats, like it'll show you above somebody else, but I promise on my screen, it really was rephrased. That just happens. So I apologize. Does Jeff like donuts
Yes.
and cinnamon rolls?
I'm a human with a pulse. Yes, I like donuts. Absolutely. I like the ones that are covered with cereal, like the ones that have like Fruit Loops or
Yes.
or something like that. There's a place. You're near Fresno, right? You're in Tulare, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a place called Donut Fantasy in Fresno that I used to go to all the time, and they had like donuts with like flaming hot Cheetos and like all kinds of different cereals and stuff like that. Yeah, the flaming hot Cheetos were a little weird.
Good.
But,
that doesn't sound
but the
good.
cereal ones were fantastic. They had one with like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Amazing donut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, check it out if you're ever in Fresno.
I was never a big cereal person. To be honest with you, I buy Conway saying he has to run. The kind of cereal I used to like, people like they cringe at. Like my favorite cereal growing up, kid you not, there was 2, Raisin Bran and Grape Nuts.
Okay. That was my mom's favorite cereal when I was growing up, but she was in her 40s at that point.
That's what most people say. Now, mind you, I doused both of them in sugar.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Probably way more than I should have. But yeah, those are always my favorite.
I was like Oops All Berries, Count Chocula, Boo Berries, Fruity Pebbles, like the stuff my kids eat now.
I don't know if that is making
Grape
fun
Nuts.
of me or agree.
It's
But
funny.
then he said more, so he is making fun of me. I mean, I'm being serious. For some reason, I loved Great Nuts with sugar, and when they got all soggy, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It reminded you of being at your grandmother's house. It was all good.
My grandma didn't like Great Nuts. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I don't know where that freaking came from. Conway asked, Jeff, do you hate it when that one guy always writes a big paragraph on your episodes in the comments that annoys you all the time? I'm not sure what guy that is, but
Well, I will say I have a lot of really great subscribers that interact with me, that share their experiences. And like Conway's one of them. Adamo is one of them. Like there's lots of people that I see in the chat here that I'm talking to on a regular basis, and they're awesome. There are a couple that just like don't get it. You know, you do a video on one thing and they're like upset that you didn't talk about like some completely irrelevant thing, and it's like I just you there's this level of you can't win, and I think you get
yeah.
that, Christy, like in the comments. So
Sorry, Jeff, I don't mean to laugh.
the great nuts, yeah.
I'm never gonna live that one down now. I so seriously don't think so. I mean, I actually appreciate haters in comments sometimes, because if like you're paying that much attention to my video or someone else's videos, like if you're really giving them that much thought and that much time, like
Mhm.
then wow,
I have
then I'm doing something right?
I have no problem with somebody who doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
I have a problem with somebody who doesn't agree with me and also doesn't share their experience. And I think that's
Yeah.
different. I tried the same product that you did, and I did it in this way, and this is what happened for me, and I really didn't like it because of that. Okay, cool. You shared your experience. It's different than mine. We can both learn from each other's thing and have an intelligent conversation. That's all cool. But
Yeah.
there are so many times where like somebody has said something and I'm like, well, have you actually tried the product? And they're like,
Yeah.
and it takes 2 or 3 comments to get to the answer, which is inevitably no. And I'm like, well, be open-minded about it until you at least try it. Stop trying to read an SDS sheet if you're not a chemist, and instead try the darn product and see whether you like it or not. I don't know.
Yeah. I totally agree. People still talking about this.
Yeah.
So Adama wants to give away another case of Stay Strong.
All right. We'll make it a
And
double.
then-
I'll give you'll get 2 cases, one from me, one from him. I'm in.
Dang. And the same giveaway?
Yeah, 12 bottles in total. Why not?
12 bottles of
12
Stay
bottles in
Strong.
total. I'll have to rebox them.
So good. Give it to your neighbors.
You'll get 12
Like,
Toco
literally.
sprayers too.
Yeah. You know? Before we do that, there was a question up here. I think Keeve asked, are you going to buy the Mosmatic foam cannon?
Maybe. I mean,
is it that great?
it's been in the catalog, the Mosmatic catalog, for a little while now. I knew it existed. I didn't know what the price point was because you can't get it in the US. There's 1 or 2 retailers in like Australia that happen to show it on their site. But it's like $400 or $500 or something like that. Yeah. And like, okay, well, if it was game changing, sure. But at the end of the day,
ridiculous.
it's like it's a regular foam cannon, but it's covered in stainless steel all the way around it. And it just seems like something I'm going to scratch the crap out of a car with, or I'm going to drop it and like be pissed off at myself.
Is that the cannon that Eddie had on his video?
Yeah, it's the Yum one. It's made by Mosmatic with Yum, from what I understand. But it's a Mosmatic cannon.
Is Thor's, are they going to sell that? Is that coming to the house?
I mean, if they do, I might then buy it. Because
for $400?
Because like if I use your code, I'll get 10% off.
There you go.
And it's over 150, I'll get free shipping too. Why not?
There you go. Dark Dragon said I'm going to use Diablo Wheel Cleaner. You know what? Dark Dragon. All I have to say is, and Eddie says, hell no.
I'm going to fill it with Breakbuster just to piss everybody off.
Breakbuster. Okay. You guys are going to kill me for saying this. Like, if Diablo Wheel Cleaner was all I had, I mean, it did okay. It wasn't the worst. It's bad. Okay, it's bad. The gel sucks. It's bad. However, like, for some people, like chemical guys, if that's what you got, you're, at Walmart.
It's slick on the brush.
It's all right.
It
Like
provides a nice barrier between your brush and scratching your wheels.
it's
The thing that I struggled with was how much product you use. You
yeah, it's
use a
too much.
whole damn bottle to clean
It's
four
not
wheels.
good. It's not good. I'm just saying.
It's not bad. It's just not good. And that's okay. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a 7. It's a 6. It's fine.
I'd say 5. 5.
Okay.
But
I'll give you
whatever.
that.
Whatever. Okay,
They
so
they,
let's do
they
a
have a
giveaway.
wheel cleaner in a blue bottle that is actually decent, and it's not thick and sticky. I don't know why I combined those two words together, but
Sticky.
stick.
Sticky. You know what, Humberto, I want to see that too. Keeve,
Yes.
that's all. I think we need to GoFundMe for Keeve to get him osmatic.
100
just
of
so
them.
we can do
100 of us send him $5 and have
That's
him
it.
drop it off his roof.
Let's do it.
Easy as that.
Let's do it. I think that if you're in, let me know because I'm all for it. I will give you $5 right now. How many do we have in here? If everybody gave $8, we have 70, right?
There you go.
Not even 8.
Boom.
Less. Look at Humberto. I'll need to start a GoFundMe. That's what I'm saying. Chingy says he likes this version of Jeff. I do too. Kimberly, are you in? I'm in. See, where are we sending the $5 to? Guys, I swear this needs to be a thing. We need to do this. Oh, Ghost says Keeve doesn't need a GoFundMe. Is Keeve's money different? Is that what you're saying, Ghost? Everybody's money is different.
I think
in here.
I think Keeve, for the size of his channel, has a really amazing following of people that are very, very
Oh yeah, his channel's amazing.
yeah, like he does a great job. And I think that his followers really, really like him, and they tend to follow his links to buy things.
We follow all his cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. If he's talking about something, I'll send him a message. Hey, send me a cookie. It's kind of a joke, but it's not at the same point.
Yeah.
Like honor the source, like in the OG way, but he's the source in this case. And yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's do a giveaway. 2 cases of Stay Strong. Like I said, 2 cases. Give them to your neighbors. Give them to your mama, your daddy.
Yep.
Your cousin's coworker, baby's mama, sisters, cousins, aunts. Doesn't matter who. Okay. You know what I'm saying. So Jeff said that, and I hope I get this right. You said that you worked at like a stereo place.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name? This is a hard one. I should have done this for the Maldives. That's okay. What is the name of the stereo place that Jeff said he worked at? Somebody got. Oh no, it was not.
Nope.
You're close.
It's
oh wait,
so close.
Good Wash. Did he get it?
He's so close. I mean, we'll give it to him. It's technically Sound Solutions with an S. But...
Oh no, we're not. Come on.
Okay, then Keith Firebird got it.
Where I didn't see Keith, but I see on mine it's different.
2 below Good Wash Detail is Big Bob, then Keith. Keith Firebird got Sound Solutions at 742.
Yeah, but Good Wash Detail also has Sound Solution above Keith on mine.
Okay. Well, then we'll give it to Good Wash.
I'm so sorry, Keith. I apologize, but
you send me an email. I'll send you a box too.
Yeah,
I got
there you go. Okay.
There's 30 of them in my garage. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Tone. It was Solution, not Station. So Good Wash Detail, Keith. Honestly, can I'll pay for because that's Down Station. Okay, Good Wash and Keith.
You are good.
Yes. Okay. Jeff at Improved Garage. Please give him an email, a ring.
Yeah.
Call him too. He won't mind.
Just ask Eddie. He'll tell you my money's different. I don't know why. I don't know what that means. I think
all your guys' money is different. Everyone's. Eddie's, yours.
Yeah.
Everyone's. Adamo's. Man, Adamo with his dual, Kranzel setup. That's, goals.
Yeah.
Goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Victor
awesome.
says, you get a case, everyone get a case.
Well, I gotta get like 40 of you to hop off, and then yes, everyone will get a case.
Eddie money different too. Jeff's the Oprah of Stay Strong. Eddie saying his tax payment was different.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe it, you guys. Literally an hour and 44 minutes. Jeff, you're amazing. And that's something, thank you for bringing that up. So before we go, do you guys see what Jeff is
What, this?
holding there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just fidget because I'm like ADHD or something like
No,
that.
but can you show? So if you have not, or if you don't know,
If you have a Lake Country pad washer, the
yes,
LC
let's talk about
4000
it.
pad washer kit, this goes on top and it makes it so that you don't spray crap all over your cabinets every time you're spinning the pads out.
Yes.
So I made one of these because I wanted one. Actually, Fu Katan sent me a like.
Oh, look at Gary says he wants one. Can they email you?
Yeah, absolutely. Email me. So Fu Katan sent me an STL file for something that he made, and it was like 2/3 coverage of the unit. And then I asked Eric, my stepson, I was like, "Hey, can you make me this?" And like literally 15 minutes, he sent me a file. Like it made me feel so incredibly unable to do 3D printing. So I went through 2 or 3 iterations. This is actually version 4. And I think it's pretty solid. It's ABS. It's not perfect. There's, you can see like there's print lines in it and stuff like that, but it works really well. They're $17 because they cost me like 12 plus shipping. And then I charge $15 for shipping anywhere in the US. That covers the box and the packing material and the shipping and all of that stuff. If you're outside of the country, then you pay actual shipping. I don't have a problem shipping to Canada or whatever. I have a ShipStation account so I can get discounted shipping. And at this point, I've sold like 90 of them, something thereabouts, really close to 90.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I bought the first 50. I took a flyer. I ordered 50 of them. It was like $1,000. Well, it wasn't quite $1,000, like $700 plus the boxes and everything else. And I was like, crap, I hope I don't get stuck with all these. And then I sold out of them so fast that I ordered another 25 and then I add another 20 onto that. And like now we're up to 90 or 95 units and it's been really good. So anyway, if anybody's interested, email jeff@improvedgarage.com. Happy to share it with you. Happy to send it. Have a conversation. I appreciate all the people that have reached out on Instagram and Facebook and in video comments and everywhere else, but like it's really hard for me to keep that all together. So just let me know how many you want and your zip code, and I can send you an invoice through PayPal and you could pay that. Or if you want to do Venmo, I could do that too. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
And it'll be wrapped all nice in his bubble wrap.
Yeah. That's why shipping is $15. It cost me $10 for the label. The box plus the bubble wrap is the other $5. Well, and for what it's worth, I mean, we've stuck a bottle of Stay Strong in almost every one of them. There was a period where I didn't have the Stay Strong in time. So like there's somebody who got Next End Mariner. There's somebody who got like Phoenix EOD rinseless sponge. There were some random things that were just like thrown in the boxes too. But anyway.
Yeah. What the heck is Diners Club? Or just Venmo? I've never heard of Diners Club.
Do I take Diners? Diners Club is a
Diners. Did I say?
Diners Club is an old like credit card thing that you could use that was for restaurants.
Oh wait, was it in a book? Was there like a big book, huh?
I think so.
Wasn't there like coupons?
I think it's a little before my time too, Christy. We're pretty similar age, right?
No, I'm way older than you.
You're not way older than me. I'm 37. How old are you? I don't have to ask you on camera.
Never ask a woman her age. No, I don't really care. I'm not one that's crazy. I'm 42. I will be 43 this year.
Yeah, so 5 years. No big deal. Same thing.
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm sure we like the same music.
Yeah. Yes, I think we do. Oh yeah, the entertainment book. That's what that was. That's how old I am. Do you guys remember that? It was a big book with all kinds of coupons. And man, I used to think I was, when I had that book, I thought I was like coming up in the world.
Yeah, Diners Club is like a credit card of sorts. Diners Club International.
I know. You thought I was younger.
I'm Googling this while we're talking so that I can act like an expert, but I'm not.
Look at how ready. Wow, you don't look that old. What are you trying to tell me?
It's okay. Statistically, she'll outlive me.
You know? I'm old. I know. God, that was right in the heart, Randy. Right in the heart. That's okay. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I've never one to been weird. Are you weird about age? I have never been one to be weird. I was 27 though for like 10 years. I said I was 27. It's just the number that came out. I don't think I can say that anymore. But
I
after a while, I was like, damn, I can't.
I
You
have
know,
to do
I gotta.
math to figure out how old I am at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris,
And
I
like
do
87
too.
minus whatever, whatever the year is. And yeah.
I don't ever really remember how old I am, but that's okay. It's when you start doing the scrolly thing, right? When you have to pick your year and you start scrolling
Mhm.
like you're on the Wheel of Fortune or Price is
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
That's when I feel like I'm old. Like,
Yeah, I won't
where's
feel
my
old until I
beer?
have to wear glasses.
Yeah. Well, 37 to 43 is very different. Yeah. No kidding. Your body does a 180 when you're 40. Sad. That's okay. I think I got everybody's questions. I just want to make sure. Oh, actually, no. Victor, really quick, he wants to know what your top 5 rinselesses are.
Hmm.
That's a good question. Top 5.
Loki, Hero, Nemesis, DIY V2. I also really like Garage Therapy, and I also like 914. But I would use them for different things. Like I use Hero to clean a clean car, like a maintenance wash, like super maintenance
Yeah.
wash. I would use Loki on something that's actually dirty, or Nemesis, one of those two.
Yeah.
I use
Wait,
DI.
you wash dirty cars?
Well, I try not to. Um, I try to keep them clean.
How about
DIY, I tend to
O&R
use
V6?
I haven't used V6. I've used V5 and I liked it,
I
but
think he's joking.
I feel like I can't really comment on V6 because, well, I can't even comment on V5 because now it's old. Like
Yeah.
it's irrelevant. I use
Yeah.
McKee's to clean my cabinets and my screens and all of that kind of stuff because it doesn't leave anything behind. And I like DIY for my pad washer. So it's, I don't know, strange, but
You have your own channel,
oh
you
shit.
know? Um,
Oh,
I mean, Keeve. Well, okay, we're gonna ask Keeve. So Keeve said he's coming on. He is on Nick at Night on Sunday.
all right.
We're gonna. Oh, but wait, Nick never does lives. That's the only thing. But we're
No,
gonna
they're
ask
always
in the chat.
premieres.
Yeah, Keeve, we
Yeah.
need to know from you. Who do you think the most boring channel is? And you can't say your own. I've never tried O&R. I've never tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27. I have never even felt the need to, and I don't know why.
I tried V5 because I never had tried it. So I was on Amazon the one day. They have an 8-ounce bottle. It's like $9. So I was like, what the hell? Let's buy it. And then it came in and I tried it and I actually liked it. Uh-oh. Well, Christy's gone. And she's back. Okay. Well, anyway. I can't hear you. Hi. Can't hear you. Well, apparently she's having technical difficulties, but I was just saying, there you are. Yes.
It's your
Right.
show now. Man,
Perfect.
I'm telling you, it has been one of those days. You should have seen me in my classroom today. I tripped over an extension cord, literally almost broke my nose. Like I landed so close to my desk.
So your students had a good day.
Oh, they did. I'm so
Perfect.
clumsy. I can't.
Yeah, I was just saying with O&R, I never tried any of the old versions. By the time I found OG, they were already onto McKee's. What really turned me on to rinseless was Hero, because DJ sent me a bottle to try out before release, and I loved it.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I tried O&R V5 because it was like an 8-ounce bottle on Amazon for $10 or something like that, and I tried it. And it was great. And then they released V6 like a week later. So now I can't talk about it because I'm no longer relevant.
Yeah.
And I'm getting like
That's such a
50-50 on that.
blooper.
Eddie said it sucks. Mike liked it. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I have to try it out and see how it is.
Yeah. Samuel, you've missed quite a bit. We've had a good time. We have been on for it's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's 8 o'clock, which means
Christy's always like, I'm gonna keep it to an hour. We're gonna be good at like 1 hour. We're at like an hour and 10. We're just gonna call it. But now we're at 2 hours. And here we
I
are.
mean, time is going by so quick. I know I've got to let people go. It's 11 o'clock East Coast time. So if you are East Coast and you are on, you are amazing.
Mhm.
But this has been fun. Definitely. Jeff, I promise you, I'm going to say it for the last time. Really, I love watching your videos because I feel like I just love the diversity. Like, you get onto YouTube and you have like a detailer's channel and you always just see products. But I
Mhm.
love learning about like all the gadgets that you have. You know what I mean? Like whether it's stereo or something in your car, like the CarPlay thing you were talking about. It's just always something different and it's interesting. Because I love to learn, you know what I mean? And not just about products, but like everything. So I
Well,
appreciate I
I
appreciate what you
appreciate
do.
that too. It's
Like if it's boring, then I like boring.
as far
Okay.
as the algorithm is concerned, it's not good for the algorithm. But
Oh, is
I've
it
just
not?
never but I've just never cared. Like it just is
Yeah.
what it is. If you want to
Well,
watch,
I
you
mean, you're
can.
at 11,000 subscribers, so obviously
Yeah.
you've done something right. And 4 years, I
Yeah.
feel like that's decent.
Eddie gained that in the last 6 months.
Yeah, well,
Road to
Eddie's
30K.
different. Yeah, and Jamie, I don't know, is Jamie there yet? Because
He's close.
Jamie, an edible bowl. I think he said he needed like 22 more. Jamie, you're gonna get there. It's got to be by tonight, right? I don't know.
He's at 29.9.
29 point. I think he said he needed like 22 more. If I don't know if I saw in the chats. We're rooting for you, Jamie.
Well, then I
If you
guess
haven't,
I'll finally subscribe to him.
you'll finally subscribe.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Keith says he's been awake the whole last hour, which means it was a great podcast.
That's
Thank you,
great.
Keith. I appreciate that. EC's still gonna beat me. Man, Eddie is on a roll. I
Yeah.
don't
I
know,
don't know
but
what it is. I had this
well, I know
theory.
what it is.
I had this theory that he picked up
He's
Kadiba and then
amazing.
all of the Koreans were following him. and I told him that and he like got in his own head about it. It was hilarious actually. But then but the thing is that when you look at the analytics, it's not just the subs, it's also the views and it's also the
Yeah,
engagement, the comments and everything else, and he's got it all.
yeah,
Everything is like really solid. So you can tell it's actual humans that are
yeah,
interested in his channel. And
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's made a shift to doing videos that are more, I don't know,
I
educational and
educate.
less
Yeah,
entertaining.
yeah.
And
Well, I wouldn't say less entertaining, but
yeah, you're probably right.
he does. He did make a comment that, like, some people, when you try to be silly or you try to be funny, like some people don't always catch on to that. But that was
Mhm.
something that always drew me to Eddie was,
I
just
liked
kind
him
of
because he
like,
was different. Yeah, the personality
it
and the
was just
giving.
real. Yeah, I mean,
When I
I don't
first
know.
met Eddie, he had 4,000 subscribers and he's given away hundreds of dollars every single podcast. And it was like, holy crap, I know you're not making this. I know
Well,
this
Eddie's
channel is
heart
like a
is just
significant loss for you.
yeah,
It's not a business. It's just like quote
yeah,
unquote for the culture, which is what he
yeah,
said. And I don't
yeah,
know, that was what drew me to him in the beginning.
yeah.
So
I know
then
when I was just going to say, when I first started watching Keep It Real, I won the active that I have right now,
Mhm.
the 2.0. And that was literally, I mean, one of the first podcasts I'd ever watched. But as I, continued to watch his podcast and I mean, I love Keep It Real. I really miss that podcast. I really, really miss it. I also miss Jamie the Cleaner. I miss
Mhm.
that podcast too. I'm glad what they're doing now, but um God,
I
as I just continued, watching him and I realized like, man, this guy is just different. Like there is something about him. It's not even about the giving, it's just
Mhm.
I don't know. And Jamie's the same way. Like they are just amazing people. I
got sucked
I
in
don't know. They're
by
amazing.
ADS actually. So I had talked to DJ a handful of times. DJ sent me Hero to test out. Then there was going to be it was going to get launched during the EC Details podcast, and I joined a couple of them, and then like I found Eddie as part of that, and
Yeah.
JB was on there too, and it was what it was, right?
Yeah.
But I started like posting in the comments like, hey, give away a a gift card on me, give away a this on me. And Jamie would, or sorry, DJ would help me out. Like he would send out the gift card. I'd pay ADS for it or whatever. And I was trying to support them because they had given me stuff to test, but like inadvertently, I kind of formed this bond with Eddie where, you know, I don't know. He's a really good dude and I really enjoy hanging out with him and talking to him. But at the end of the day, he also doesn't care. He doesn't care if you like him. He doesn't care if you like his products. He doesn't care if you support or don't support. Like if just be yourself, be real.
Yeah.
And then as long as you're real, Eddie will have respect for you. You don't have to agree with him. You just have to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's always kind of attracted me to him and the group and all of that. And he's a big personality, which is awesome, but you know.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it has been literally 2 hours. I think we should probably wrap it up. I have had the most fun tonight. I appreciate every one of you who stayed on. We are still strong at 62. That's pretty dang good. I am so pleased to see that. You guys are amazing. I literally, man, it just, you know what I mean? It fills my heart. Like when I see you guys in the chat every Monday and I'm always like, man, they're on for my podcast. Like, this is amazing. I love it. And Jeff, thank you. I think I did have one more question. I honestly did. And I'm going to be honest. I'm so sorry, but I think I lost it. I thought I started, but I didn't. And I don't know if I can scroll to find it. So if I didn't get to one of your questions, here's the last question. Well, here it is. I found it from Ghost. We'll end it here. So where do you see the detailing industry in 10 years, Jeff?
I don't know. I think one of the things that I'm starting to see more in the last couple of years is people working together. So like Yum doesn't believe in rinseless, yet they're producing a rinseless, working with Eddie to put all this stuff together. We just had Pan, who owns Clean by Pan, Eddie and Jamie, who own Detail Co. and Thor, and Nick, who owns Yum, all in the same building doing content together as a group. We've seen Ivan do collabs with a bunch of other different creators of products. We just saw TRCMA, which whether you follow the rag company or not, like, you know, OG and JB and ADS and Kosh Chemi and all of these other creators are together and they're working together. Like, I think we're going to see a lot more collabs. I think that we're going to see a lot more people working together instead of against each other. And that's, I think at the end of the day, like every single one of us aspires to, we just want to clean cars, right? We want to take a car that's already mostly clean and make it a little bit cleaner. And, you know, I think that there's enough consumers in the industry for everybody to eat. Yeah. And it's easy for me to say that as a person who works in IT and doesn't depend on any of this for a paycheck. But I hear that from all of the suppliers, all of the different brands. It's like, there are so many people that are here. Eddie, if it wasn't for your kids, you wouldn't want to clean dirty cars. Shout out to Wanda.
And it's about both of them. Eddie's lying.
I mean, he only invites Jamie over when there's a dirty car to clean. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more collabs. I appreciate that we're being more inclusive of brands that are outside of the United States, not just what's here. I'm worried that the tariffs might set some of that stuff back a little bit.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
I'm bummed about that. Not to get political in any sort of way whatsoever, but there is a reality that if we're importing goods and those imported goods have tariffs, then we're going to pay more money for, you know, clean toll than we do for some other product that's produced in the United States, like Detail Co. or ADS or Clean.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there's been a huge drive towards rinseless. There's been a lot of great products that have come out in the last couple of years. And I think it's a great time to be into this industry.
Yeah,
really
I agree.
Is.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That was a great answer.
Thanks.
And Donald says Eddie's still cleaning the garage after Jamie was there.
Yeah,
probably not lying, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Jamie, we're gonna have to do something about this. You know, but Jamie's garage always looks super clean, so I don't know. I don't know, Jamie. You might have to speak up about this.
Yeah.
He leaves all his muffin top wrappers everywhere.
I think he's just thrilled to have a cameraman.
Yeah, I think so too. Although Jamie is the one, I will have to say, I know I keep talking about other things, but I am telling you, I have never, because I mean, when he, films his own videos, like half of the time, I feel like he's using his DJI or like the Osmo or something. He does the best filming with one hand.
Mhm.
He washes a car literally with one hand. The pressure
Mhm.
washer, that whatever it is, he literally, I don't know, one-handed bandit. He is talented.
They're like a married couple fighting in the comments. Dude left his shirt, chemicals all over. What shirt?
I see that. What shirt? He thinks he's serious.
Oh, that's funny.
Your
Your
hat.
hat.
The list goes on and on. He took pictures. Jamie, watch out. He's coming for you. He's got receipts.
I got my hat.
Look at, I got my hat. Not that hat. It was a different hat. Where the purple
No, I
underwear,
think
maybe?
I think the most
Jamie?
hilarious thing in the entire world, and we'll leave it with this, is
Pull it to here.
Jamie and Eddie and Pan and Nick go out to lunch at this pizza place. And they post this like quick little video of like a cup of sauce on Eddie's plate. And in the background, you can see like the logo of the restaurant. And Adamo like Googles the restaurant in Pocatello. And by the way, there's only 2 Italian restaurants in Pocatello, but he finds the restaurant that they're at, calls the waiter and covers their meal. And they're like sitting there at the table waiting for this check to come, and it never comes. And they ask for it, and they're like, no, some guy named Adamo already covered your.
And Pan was so freaked out. He's like, how is it?
Yeah, Pan wants to know how he knows where they're at.
He was scared to tell. He really was. Even in like other videos, and he's like, no, I'm not. Tell Adamo. I don't know about it.
Yeah.
Bro's in the CIA.
Yeah, he's Italian CIA.
It was hilarious.
He saw this thing in the back of a video, and he's like, you know what? I want to buy them lunch today. And he called the restaurant and paid for it.
Yeah, because he's amazing. Shout out, Adamo. Really, I don't
even know what to say about that.
That was awesome. And I can't imagine just like the shock on their face, right? And Adamo, you do pay attention.
Yeah.
And it really was. Like, if you look at it, there is the logo. Like, it's not hard to figure out. You know what I mean?
Like after the fact, I was able to figure out how he did it. But like,
yeah, that was awesome.
During the thing, when it happened, Eddie was like completely blown away, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
DoorDash.
Yeah. Yeah, DoorDash.
You and your DoorDash.
I mean, when I just had that. Sorry, again, I'm going on. Last comment, I promise. But when he said he didn't have a cinnamon roll, like there was just something in me that I was like, there is no way that I can let this man live anymore. Because what human hasn't tried a cinnamon roll? Like there's something seriously wrong with that. Like I don't care if you're Canadian, they don't got cinnamon rolls in Canada. Right. Like what's going on here?
Right. So, and that's how the video finished, with everyone eating cookies.
It did. I needed, yeah. Well, then I just figured they needed a sweet treat. But man,
Absolutely.
Cinnamon rolls, like that's something that people need to try in their lives. And I was really hoping for Cinnabon. They didn't have that. But so hopefully those cinnamon rolls were good. I don't know. Eddie said it's a good bakery. But anyway. All right, guys. 2 hours, 7 minutes. I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat dinner. God, it's already 8 o'clock. Maybe I'm not eating dinner tonight. Thank you for everybody staying on. That's okay. I had so much fun. You guys are awesome. Everybody, I'll see you again on Monday. We'll have Nick from Yum on next Monday night. Don't miss it. Also, don't miss Sunday night with Keeves so we can roast him in the comments. He's really waiting for it. Everybody else, have a good night, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.